We'll step up to help the homeless at Steps and Strides 2018.
We'll check out Late Night Tailgate at the Irving Arts Center.
And we'll celebrate one of Irving's most beloved artists, Lyle Novinsky.
All this and more coming up About Town.
Hello everyone and welcome to About Town. I'm Susan Kamyab.
And I'm Kathy Whiteman. Susan, we're so glad to have you back on the show. So Oscar season is about to heat up. Anything on your short list yet?
Yes, we're just scratching the surface of the Oscar contenders, but I saw A Star is Born, and that alone, we got Bradley Cooper for director, actor, Lady Gaga, music. And then you've got A Beautiful Boy starring Steve Carell and Timothée Chalamet, both great performances. And then Rupert Everett just starred and directed and wrote The Happy Prince, all possible Oscar contenders.
Wow, okay, so I'm gonna go on the line and say it here. Shallow from A Star is Born is absolutely taking Best Song this year. You heard it here first, folks.
My vote, for sure. Fabulous song.
All right, good. So you'll have to check back with us and see if we're right. So we're glad that you could come back to see us for details on the Irving Schools Foundation's Legacy Gala.
We'll also bring you news on Live to Lead 2018 and a preview of the Irving Symphony Orchestra's 2018-2019 season.
As always, we'd love to hear from you. Let us know if there's a community event you'd like to promote on the show or a story you'd like us to cover.
You can email us at ictn@cityofirving.org or connect with us on social media. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter. We'd love to hear from you.
Family Promise of Irving brings hope to families facing homelessness, and their annual fundraiser, Steps and Strides, helps with their efforts. Susan was there, and she filed this report.
3, 2, 1.
And they're off. Participants of the 7th annual Steps and Strides have hit the ground running to benefit Family Promise of Irving,
which is a program for homeless families with children that just need some help up.
We do it through a partnership with our local churches. They stay the night in the church, and then we have a van that brings them over to our day center where they're looking for full-time work and taking care of whatever issues standing in the way of them being self-sufficient again. So we're out to raise money and awareness for Family Promise.
Held outside Hackberry Creek Church, the event began with a 1-mile fun run, followed by a slightly more intense 5 and 10K run.
Bring your dogs, bring your strollers, bring your kids, or if you're really serious, it's a timed run and get into the spirit of the competition.
Support didn't just come from the sponsors this year, as schools from Irving ISD also helped out.
The Jack Singley Academy, the culinary program, they are providing breakfast burritos. The Lamar Middle School Girls Athletic Club are doing face painting and painting a water station. We have Irving High School football players, the Tigers, down on the first water station. So it's just it's a community event to bring people out, to bring awareness about homelessness and what's going on with that.
For organizer Terry Petty, this fundraiser is especially meaningful.
I was a single mom for 8 years, so without some family help, I very well could have been in a situation where I could not pay my rent and needed that extra help. So it is just a labor of love, it really is.
Family Promise hopes Steps and Strides will motivate people to help families in need.
People don't realize in a community, like Irving, it doesn't matter whether you're North Irving or South Irving, there is a homeless problem. There's a homeless problem with IASD students. So this is hopefully something that'll raise awareness, and that means a lot.
It is a situation that affects all people. Children in the school district without a home, without a regular nighttime shelter, it's all of our responsibility to help out.
Though the event was about an important cause, it was also about having fun.
It's just everybody finishing, having a good time, enjoying themselves. All our volunteers, I'm hoping they have a good time and learn a little bit more about what's going on.
It's great to see old friends and meet new friends, and we have some new sponsors this year, and we just love being in the community and having a good time.
The run brought Family Promise another step closer to building community and strengthening lives. For About Town, this is Susan Kamyab.
To learn how you can help, visit FamilyPromiseIrving.org.
When comedians and sports fans decide to join forces, you get a tailgate party like no other. Here's a look at all the fun at the Irving Arts Center at the Late Night Tailgate.
The first one I ever remember crying at, and I mostly was Beaches.
Oh,
okay.
Forget about it.
I was like, am I
Still
a woman? I remember when I was like, and that song, The Wind Beneath My Wings, you put that on and try not to cry.
Irving Arts Center hosted their very first ever late-night tailgate comedy show. The lineup featured an all-pro roster with comedians Steve Rannazzisi, Sarah Tiana, and former NFL quarterback Sage Rosenfels as they mixed stand-up comedy with sports talk.
A lot of it will be topical, stuff that's in the zeitgeist in the news right now, like whether it be Colin Kaepernick, trademarking his hair, or Jason Garrett, since that's a local thing. And then just sports in general, we'll probably make fun of Sage a lot. At least I know I will.
We're gonna have games with the audience, interactive games. We're gonna win prizes. We're gonna make them laugh with stand-up. We're gonna have guests. We're gonna embarrass ourselves.
This was the first time Rosenfels got to blend his knowledge of sports with his love of comedy.
I like to not take myself too seriously. I'm much that way on Twitter. So I try to show some of my personality that I wasn't allowed to really show as a football player, especially as a backup quarterback. It's more of a be seen and not heard mentality. So now that football's done, I can be heard a little bit.
Even though Irving was their debut show, it seemed as though Rosenfels and his fellow cast members already hit it off.
Terrible. They're monsters, for the most part. Sarah, not so much. Sage is just a diva. He's a backup quarterback. He's used to getting his way.
Sage keeps saying that he can be anyone in cornhole, and then today, all of a sudden, he was like, well, I don't know the rules. And I was like, oh, so you know how to play your way, not the legal way. So, spoken like a true QB2.
They've been picking on me since I met them this past weekend. So that's what they do. They're comedians. I'm not sure if I can go toe-to-toe with them yet, so I'll have to get to know them a little bit better, get a little bit more material, then I can, pick on them back.
We've had a great time so far. We really have. We're making each other laugh. We're having fun on the road, which is not easy to do. So yeah, we're having a good time.
The show tackled the biggest topics in sports, as well as touch on current events, pop culture, and played a few special games.
There's an aspect where I think I'm going to play cornhole with somebody from the audience, and if I lose, I have to sing a karaoke song. I'm a terrible singer.
If I
So that's my thing.
should stay, I would only be in your way.
While Rosenfels enjoyed his first time performing, his comedy veteran cast members expressed why they love stand-up.
It's literally the only thing that I can do. It's the only service I can offer to the world. I like it because I need it, like water.
Man, I think there's just nothing better than getting people to laugh at something that you created and that you originated and came up with on your own.
Late Night Tailgate brought lots of laughs to the Art Center as comedians and athletes joined forces for a hilarious interactive experience.
People get to win prizes. They get to hang out with us. It's a tailgate.
You don't see too many combinations of comedy and sports come together, and that's exactly what this is.
If you're watching this, I implore you to come to the show. We're gonna have a great time, and it's gonna be fun.
For About Town, this is Susan Kamyab. For more information about this show, visit imgartist.com/roster/late night tailgate. For more fun events, visit irvingartcenter.com.
The Irving Schools Foundation signature event is coming up fast.
Straight from Bangkok, we have some surprise guests.
Welcome, ladies. I love it that you guys always come up with the most amazing themes. So tell us what it is this year.
One Night in Bangkok.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Hence the very Asian outfit.
Absolutely.
Well, can you tell us about One Night in Bangkok, the event?
Guests will first be greeted when they come up to a live elephant.
Okay,
Yes.
what a way to get started on this thing.
Absolutely. We'll be outside of the Four Seasons in the Port Cochere. They'll be able to have their picture made with her. Inside, we will have all sorts of beautiful Asian delicacies. There will be dancing Irving ISD principals.
I'm buying my ticket now. I am so there to see the dancing principals.
Isn't that right? Yes, absolutely. Students will be in the lovely, colorful dragons. We'll have henna tattoos, all sorts of fun activities.
So
Sounds
festive.
so fun. It sounds just like a blast.
Absolutely. So tell us, Crystal, how this year's gala will help support your goals at the Irving Schools Foundation.
So really the gala supports two different sides of our foundation. Number one, our mission. We're trying to show the community that our kids are amazing, that we have 35,000 kids from all walks of life. We represent 95 different countries, 65 different languages, which is why we pick a different themed country every year, as I've shared with y'all before. And then number two, it's our biggest fundraiser. So this year we're really trying to push for childhood hunger. We're trying to feed the kids in our schools. We're finding more and more that kids are going home to empty plates, empty fridges, empty cupboards. And our goal with this year's gala is to eliminate hunger in our schools.
Wow.
So our goal is to raise $500,000, and we are so close. We have 414,000 raised to date, so we're so close, and we just hope that people in the community realize how close we are, and that this is a wonderful cause, making sure that our kids aren't hungry in our schools. So.
And a wonderful opportunity to show all the students how much this community can come together and make a thing happen.
Absolutely.
Wow.
The city of Irving is like no other. When you call for action, they come to the plate.
So, I mean, people need to RSVP pretty soon. Are there tickets still available?
There's one table left, so if people want to come, they need to call today.
Yeah, it would be like, get on the phone the minute this goes off, because otherwise you'll be out there with the elephant.
Right, and you cannot miss the show. It will be the event of the year.
Absolutely. Well, there's a reason that you guys have this great big signature event. Folks, you got to be there. One night in Bangkok, the Legacy Gala 2018. That's Friday, November 9th. Starts at 7 p.m. at the Four Seasons. Call now or wait till next year. Thanks for being here, ladies.
Thank you all so much.
Scott Churchill returns after a long sabbatical with a look at the National Geographic documentary Free Solo. If you're a thrill seeker, this documentary is the next best thing to being there. Here's Scott with more.
Free Solo is the new documentary film from National Geographic about a quiet thrill seeker named Alex Honnold, a rock climber who attempted what many in the climbing community thought was impossible, a solo ascent without ropes, hence Free Solo, of Yosemite's El Capitan. The first climbers to take on the challenge of El Capitan took something like 39 days to make it to the top using ropes and clips to keep themselves attached to the sheer granite cliff. Alex Honnold's ascent took him an astonishing 3 hours and 56 minutes, all captured on film by expert mountain climber and cinematographer Jimmy Chin and his wife Elizabeth Chai Vasarhelyi, who together produced and directed this documentary. Jimmy Chin's previous film was Meru, released in 2015, documenting his own ascent of one of the most challenging peaks in the Himalayas, Mount Meru. The challenge was, in making this documentary, how to position the cameras that were taking close-ups of Alex without ever distracting him or being in his line of vision. The film not only shows how they achieved this marvel of cinematography, but it puts the viewer right there on the side of El Capitan with Alex following his ascent, jumping from one crucial challenge to the next. I have to say I've seen just about all of the mountain climbing films that you can find on Amazon Prime, and this is the best of them all. The pure adrenaline rush of watching this film is like nothing I've ever seen. The last time I experienced vertigo while watching a film was The Walk, which was done purely by special effects, with a tightrope walker crossing between the Twin Towers, really only a couple of feet above the ground. But there are no special effects in Free Solo. What you see is what actually took place. And as he climbs higher and higher, clinging to the side of El Capitan with only his fingers and toes, the viewer's sense of vertigo becomes even more profound. Watching this on a screener at home on a large TV, I found myself literally curling up into a ball on the couch, as if clinging to myself as though I were clinging to the mountain, repeating, "Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh." See Free Solo on a big screen while you can. It is certainly one of the year's best pictures, and it's a film that you will never forget. The Dallas Opera is proud to present its season opener of the company's grand 2018-19 Swept Away season, which marks its 10th season now at the Windspear, whose first production took place in October 2009. A world-class international cast of notable Wagnerians were assembled for this production from the Canadian Opera Company in Toronto. Next up will be the beautiful Carmen, running from October 19th to November 4th. We will close with this clip from the Dallas Opera's production of Richard Wagner's The Flying Dutchman, which has not appeared on stage in Dallas since 1994. Almost 25 years. Don't miss it.
Catch Free Solo at the AMC Irving Mall. Dallas Opera's The Flying Dutchman runs through October 20th at the Windspear Opera House in Dallas. Another event that helps support the good work of the Irving Schools Foundation is the annual Live to Lead.
And Crystal is back to bring us the details. Great to see you again.
Great to see y'all.
You're just popping up all over here, Crystal.
That's what we do. We're in education. We're busy.
That's right. And you got to keep those things moving,
lots
right?
of kids to take care of.
So this event for you guys has been extremely successful. Is this the 4th year?
This is the 4th year.
Yeah. So how did it all come about?
You know, it all started, Mark Fenner, who we all know and love, approached me and he said he had a leadership opportunity and wanted to have an impact on the city of Irving. And he chose us as the beneficiary. So Mark pays for the simulcast and he runs it, and then we receive all the funds for a scholarship for some kids. So the past couple of years we've been able to award 2 scholarships per year, $5,000 each. For kids to go off to college and become leaders on their own.
Oh, I think that's fabulous. So just let me poke in here and say this. It's been so successful that you guys actually sold out this year and had to add another session.
Yes. I will be working a very long day that day. I will have our morning session, and then, like you said, we sold out, so now we've added an evening session, which is a first for us, and it's a great problem to have.
It is a great problem
to have. Yes. So what is a day like for the attendees?
The day is really 3-pronged. It's marketing, so they get their name put out there. We do a great job advertising that these corporate sponsors are taking care of our kids. The second part is leadership training. So a lot of corporate sponsors bring their leaders and their groups, or they bring people on their teams that they want to promote to leadership opportunities. And the last part is, of course, the philanthropy. So taking care of some kids that wouldn't otherwise have the opportunity to experience something like this.
So this year they'll get to experience some, as they have in the past 4 years or 3 years, some really high-profile people coming to talk about their own journeys towards leadership. Who have you got this year?
We have Tyler Perry, which is a wow, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we were so excited when we found out he'll be on our simulcast. I'm sure he has lots of good stories to share of ups and downs with his career path. We also have Carly Fiorina, and as you all know, she was the CEO of HP and ran for president, so I'm sure she'll have a lot of good behind-the-scenes snippets to share with us.
That's going to be wonderful.
Oh, yeah.
And some other great leaders as well, but they're kind of the 2 highlight ones I want to point out.
Great, yeah. And there's a lot of benefits for the student attendees. Can you tell us more about that?
Sure. The past 3 years, we've been able to provide the opportunity for our students to attend this simulcast as well. And we've been very limited to 500 kids. And this year, for the first time, we're expanding it to all of our campuses.
Oh, wow.
So about 2,000 of our kids impacted by a leadership simulcast. So they'll watch. They have an interactive workbook that they'll be working on, and then at the end of it, they'll have to come up with a paper, which is never fun, but a paper that they can share with their peers on what they learned during their experience.
Well, with the speakers that you have, they may be very inspired to do just that, so I think that's great. Well, wonderful. Crystal, thanks so much for letting us know about it. Are there still tickets available for that evening?
Still tickets available for the evening, and sponsorships too. We're still looking for sponsors, and as a reminder, every dollar, nothing's taken out. Every single dollar goes towards a scholarship. So we really encourage our friends and our individuals in the community and our corporations to sign up today.
That's great. So if people want to sign up, do they go to the ISF website?
ISF website, or that we also have a website via Mark's page with Rise Performance Group.
Okay.
So lots of ways for them to buy tickets.
Fantastic. So folks, if you want to make sure that you get an opportunity to be in on this year's simulcast, please, it's going to happen on Wednesday, November 14th, yes, at 8. Well, everything kind of kicks off in the morning. 7:45, get there and grab some wonderful food from Singley Academy kids at Singley Academy. To register for the evening, go to irvingschoolsfoundation.org and get your place, because this one may sell out too. Thanks for being here, Crystal.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
Lyle Novinsky has been making art for over 4 decades, and his work can be found in public spaces and private collections all over the country. A new exhibit, A Life in Art, at the Irving Art Center is a retrospective of his work and a tribute to his artistic legacy. The Irving Art Center's latest exhibit showcases work by an artist who truly needs no introduction.
Please join me in welcoming Lyle Novinsky.
But a warm welcome is always nice.
I want to begin by offering my sincere thanks to Marcy for the invitation to have an exhibit in my hometown. It is my hometown now.
The crowd gathered for an artist talk and first look at the new exhibit, Lyle Novinsky, A Life in Art.
There is a lot of work, and it really spans from the mid-1950s to the current day. So we'll see some of Lyle's very early work, some as a student, some when he was serving over in Korea, up to his present day projects. We've got something from a 2018 commission for a church in Dallas. So he is still working, still producing.
Novinsky's career spans 4 decades of teaching at the University of Dallas and creating art.
An artist is somebody who makes things, or who enjoys making things, or adapting things, designing things.
He has explored many different ways of making art over the years, so the exhibit includes works in oil on canvas, graphite on paper, coal wax and caustic, and even a large work in leather for a corporate client. But Marcy Inman knew Lyle Novinsky first as a teacher.
Professor Novinsky was one of my teachers at University of Dallas when I was back there in the day. And I have very vivid memories of being a freshman, sitting in the lecture hall, and being introduced to this wonderful discipline called art history. Really opened the world to me.
As teacher and artist, Novinsky was pleased to see the work on display.
I think the show is beautiful. They did a wonderful job putting it together and hanging it. I'm delighted.
This is Kathy Whiteman reporting. Lyle Novinsky, A Life in Art continues through November 11th in the Irving Art Center main gallery. Hector Guzman is now in his 26th year with the Irving Symphony Orchestra, and along with Catherine Pennington is moving the orchestra into their next decade.
Hector and Catherine join us with the details on their season, Mambo to Motown.
I love that title. It just the range of music that you guys are going to be performing this season is so exciting. But before we move on, let's talk about the concert that opened your season, which sadly I had to miss the Mambo Kings.
Well, sadly I had to miss too. So
well, sadly I didn't have to miss.
Good.
But we had a guest conductor, Lonnie Klein from the Las Cruces Symphony Orchestra, and he did a great job. And as I was telling you before the interview, it was an evening which our audience wanted to dance so bad. They were just like trying to. The whole evening was really spectacular. We had a wonderful audience, good numbers, and I think it was a great opening concert. So that kind of gives you a, momentum going forward.
Yeah, it's that energy that kicks it off, and then you just, from there.
Right. Yeah. So can you tell us about the upcoming concert?
Sure. The next one is November 3rd, and it features the orchestra in a program called From the Wild West to Star Trek.
Oh, that sounds great.
And then there is a little line that says, and a tribute to Veterans Day. Veterans Day happens, a few days later, but we wanted to just present a little bit of a tribute to our veterans. So the music from Adagio for Strings by Barber, the music from The Patriot, and then other things, even the SMU composer in residence wrote a piece called A Soldier's Story. And so that is going to be played among many of just blockbuster movies such as The Magnificent Seven, Silverado, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, the River from Breakfast at Tiffany's, and many other movies.
Lots of John Williams, and everybody loves John Williams.
Great, yeah.
Yeah, that just, I got chill bumps when you started talking about it. And I can hear that voiceover that says, boldly go where no man has gone before.
Exactly.
You know, that's what we're doing here. I love that. I love that. So, Catherine, we'll have lots of viewers out here who are concert lovers and who love the Irving Symphony. How can they get involved in a way that'll be helpful to the symphony?
Well, certainly come to our concerts. We could use a lot more people there than we have, and some new people. We need new people and everything. We need volunteers from time to time. We have our children's concerts coming up, and we always need volunteers for that. And certainly underwriting. If there's underwriting, if there's a few dollars here or there, we always need money.
Absolutely, because art cannot happen without money.
Exactly. and the arts seem to be the place that everyone's cutting right now in their budget. So,
But Catherine, you also have a special project called Ovation where teens can get involved. Can you talk about that?
Well, in the past, you know, we had the Symphony Bells, which is sort of a gala situation, and now we've opened it up to include the Ovation guys and gals from the high schools, and we like to recruit from Irving ISD as well as charter schools, neighborhood schools. We have some Grand Prairie ISD students, and they help us do the ushering, the greeting, and that type of thing at the concerts.
That's wonderful. And then just let's promote the music to that new audience and get them involved. That is so smart. I love it. So, kind of to conclude, Hector, tell us, give us a little snapshot of what's coming up for the rest of the season.
Well, Christmas is one of our most popular concerts that's happening next. We also have a guest conductor, Ron Spiegelman, and Blake Davidson will be our soloist. And we have the Irving Chorale participating again, so that will be very exciting. Then in February, January, we're having a concert entitled Dallas Treasures, in which a flamenco guitarist, a singer, and a folkloric Iranian composer and player will be performing, and Ravel's Bolero danced. We have a dancer there, so all of that happens in that concert. Then in the following concert in February, we have La Traviata in concert. And then, as you mentioned, our last concert is the Motown. The Motown experience with Spectrum, which is a quartet of African-American guys that just sounds so good. So that's our closing concert.
Oh, gee.
Just, I know it's really bad, but
incredible. An incredible season. Well, I hope you guys will come back and kind of fill us in along the way. I love Blake Davidson. He's an Irving boy, part of the Three Redneck Teens.
Yes,
That's right.
We love him. Everyone loves him, and I know he'll be a big draw this year.
Absolutely. Well, bring him back, and let's talk about that concert when we can. Folks, you will not want to miss From the Wild West to Star Trek. Boldly go where no man has gone before on Saturday, November 3rd at 7:30 p.m. at Carpenter Performance Hall. You can find out more details on the concert if you'd like at irvingsymphony.com. We'll see you there.
The Irving Art Association's annual Animal Art exhibit is currently on display in the Courtyard Gallery at the Irving Art Center. Here's a look and a list of other ways to take a walk on the wild side about town.
And here are some other adventurous things to do happening about town. Irving artist Arjun KC will do a live painting demo at his artist reception on Friday, October 26th at 7 p.m. in the Irving Arts Center. Meet Arjun and see him in action.
The Irving Symphonic Band presents Something Spooky on Saturday, October 27th at 7:30 p.m. in Carpenter Performance Hall.
Get your Halloween spirit in gear at the Trunk or Treat Festival at the Toyota Music Factory. The family-friendly, free event starts at 6 p.m. on Saturday, October 27th and includes a showing of Hocus Pocus.
And the Lone Star Youth Orchestra kicks off their 2018-2019 season with opening act on Wednesday, November 7th at 7 p.m. in Carpenter Performance Hall. For more details on all these events, call 972-252-ARTS. And that wraps up this edition of About Town. Thanks for joining us.
Please be sure to tune in next time when we'll have a preview of Mainstage Irving Las Colinas' Kiss Me Kate.
We'll also check out the DFW Paw Fest and the Playing with Chess exhibit in the Irving Arts Center Focus Gallery.
We'll leave you tonight with another look at the Mambo Kings in concert. For About Town, I'm Kathy Whiteman.
And I'm Susan Kamyab. Have a great evening.